you with it. Happy Sunday, guys. Happy Sunday. Paul's gonna lift up the camera. Oh, there I am. I'm here. Okay. How we doing? How we doing? Today's gonna kind of, what are we doing today? We're just gonna kind of free ball it today. We're just free balling it today.
Guys, we're going commando on you.
What does Joel say? Balls to the wall?
Yeah, we're going balls to the wall. Guys, here we go.
Oh my God, what's up, Michigan? Colorado's in the house. You did your first Periscope.
Oh yeah, awesome.
All right, you're good.
Happy Sunday for sure.
Welcome, guys. We're just having fun today. Easy, easy day. It's Sunday.
Charlotte's in the house. What's up? So, I know a lot of people talk about Soulful Sunday, and you know, this is the day to kind of mellow down and things like that. But not here, not us.
Not today.
We're charging it up, guys. We got to go. Alaska. Wow. Hey, welcome from Alaska.
Good. You picked up the 10X rule. At least somebody can find it. You can't even find the book here.
From Alaska to Boston. How cool is that,
Hola,
guys?
Mexico.
Oh, and New Zealand. Awesome.
You should be sleeping, New Zealand. Check this out.
Sleep is overrated.
So, a funny rumor went all over Facebook that my birthday was yesterday. My birthday's not until Monday, but I celebrate all weekend and all week long. But look at these beautiful flowers that my amazing, one of my best friends from high school, her name is Farah, her and her husband Charlie, and her son Liam just sent these to me today. So beautiful. Yeah. I'm so blessed.
Amazing.
So blessed.
Thank you for that.
Whew, a tear kind of went through my eyes. I wasn't expecting that at all. I love beautiful things like that. Unexpected gifts. So thank you for adding value to my life, Farrah. We love you. So today, actually, before we go into training, let's introduce ourselves. My name is Lynette, sorry.
My name is Paul. For those of you that are on with us, thank you. For those of you that are watching us because you are watching football right now, that's cool.
We're over here just making money.
No worries. Catch us on the replay.
There you go, look. Happy Monday.
Oh,
so it's my birthday, technically.
It's already your birthday in New Zealand.
It is.
They live in the future, guys.
I love it.
That's why New Zealand is on fire. That's why Australia's on fire. They live in the future. They're already a day ahead of us. So, that's kind of wild how it's spreading like wildfire all over the world.
It's the power of the word of mouth. Yeah. So, welcome, guys, to another episode of our Periscope broadcast. We're on episode 89. Mm-hmm. So tomorrow we're wrapping it up, and then we will cease doing Periscope. But we feel that we've given you everything that you need to know. So it's time to clip those wings so you can fly now, right? Not clip the wings, but clip the... Okay.
Clip something that's
you know
holding
me,
you
my
down.
Analogies. Stop it.
Yeah, whatever's holding you down, just clip that.
Whatever,
and then
fly, bird,
start flapping.
And plus,
remember the chickens and the eagles? Guys, the chickens are clucking. We're not clucking with the chickens. We're soaring. We're all meant to soar.
So don't forget that you can find all of our broadcasts. Larry Fuchs was so generous in recording us, and he recorded us from back like episode 48. So don't forget that you can always listen to us in the car, or what we call just, University on Wheels when you're in the car doing your hair. Washing the dishes or whatever, just pop in Paul Lynette and we'll walk you through it. But you guys are asking so many amazing questions.
Yeah, great questions.
So before we go into training, I just want to do a couple recaps. Yesterday's episode was pretty profound. It was one of my favorite episodes on the power of gratitude and releasing all the blocks and resistance in your life by being relaxed and being eternally grateful for everything. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Such a powerful it's just a powerful, affirmation, if you will.
Coming from a place of gratitude now gives us the opportunity to see the abundance currently in our life rather than waiting for it to show up. Seeing the success that is currently in our life rather than thinking that is something down the road that needs to be attained. The same thing with happiness and motivation and fulfillment and contribution. There's so much of that in our lives already, in both Lynette and my life, and then as well as yours. And if we can find it now, then when we have more, when we're given more, because we're in that state of constant gratitude, then we'll be on high alert, so to speak, on when it shows up, when more of it shows up in our future. So it just changes the way that you interact with yourself, which then changes the way you interact with the world, and you start attracting new things in your life. You start creating new success that you may have not tapped into before, but now all of a sudden it becomes easy. It starts to flow. It becomes a way of life.
So we want to congratulate Irene. I hope I'm not butchering your last name. Is it Janori? Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah, so, Irene, yeah.
Irene Janori. She's the one that actually won the magic
and the sleep spray.
And the sleep spray. So we're going to be sending that to you. If we didn't mention it yesterday, this is the book that will actually unlock the doors of law of attraction.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you a couple of list of books that I will recommend on what I read in order to kind of master the law of attractions. But there's so many different books, there's so many YouTube videos and so many things that you can find online. But just find something that really resonates with you intuitively. That's my only thing with any book that you read. Just allow the book to speak to you. You'll know which book that you need to read because it'll just kind of speak to you really loudly on the shelf, and you'll go, okay, that's the one that I need to read. But just remember, if you're brand new to Periscope, it is a wonky platform. You can always find us on Twitter. So get on your laptop or your computer, and the replay is much more smoother on the computer than it is on the mobile app. And you have 24-hour replay, but there's really no reason for me to say that because it is being recorded for you.
There you go.
So with that said, today I kind of wanted to wrap up just a few things because you guys are asking us a lot of questions. We're just kind of free-balling it today. Nothing really intense in terms of training, but it's kind of, today's episode is really sparked by Jill Bowman. She posted something in our business page today that I really want to hone in if some of you are listening and you're still doing some of these things, because remember Paul and I always talk about the secret sauce, which is the product page. Well, some of you are still kind of not understanding the power behind the product page. So I want to give a few helpful tips that I do probably want you to write down to make sure that you're doing these things. And I can kind of tell you some things that you need to be mentioning in your product page to make sure that you are guiding your customers and your prospects correctly. Oh, good. Irene is on. Good. I hope you're feeling better today. So she was in bed yesterday not feeling so well. So I hope you doubled up on your ionics and we made your day a little bit brighter yesterday. So congratulations, Irene. Anything you want to kind of wrap up before we go into some of the product page? And then of course, we'll open it up for some questions in case you guys have some random questions that we need to answer for you. Because again, tomorrow's going to be our last day, and I don't know if we're going to have time to answer a whole lot of stuff tomorrow.
So a couple things. You know, we always talk about the rules of the game. We always talk about the 2-week turnaround, the rule of 5. And one of the parts of the 2-week turnaround, actually I'm going to cover 2 of those things just real briefly, are probably the most important things out of everything that we talk about for you personally. And the first one is, and I think Tony Robbins says this, I'm paraphrasing, so bear with me, but he says something to the effect of, I don't get people on Zoom to buy. But hold that question just for a second. Let's let Paul kind of figure it out. If you're not adding value to people's lives, you will not succeed. Your success is a direct reflection of how much value you add, period. Wow. I think that's what he says. So if you get nothing out of everything else that we've talked about, 89 hours of content and information, if you focus on becoming the biggest value giver, becoming the biggest value creator in the world around you, you will never have to feel as though your business isn't growing. You'll never have to look for ways to get people into your business because we don't get people. You won't have to try and struggle and feel frustrated about things not moving.
Actually, I want to interject because I love what you're saying, because a lot of you are really focusing on the technique stuff. You're focusing on the website, you're focusing on Zoom, you're focusing on the product, you're focusing on stuff you shouldn't be focusing on. Your primary focus is exactly what Paul is saying. When you get up in the morning, each and every morning, the first thing you should be asking God, the universe, whomever, is who can I bless today? Who can I serve today? Who can I add value to? That is your first and foremost job, if you will.
And those questions are basically all the same. How can you add value? That's it. There you go.
And it really boils down to that. So if you can just really get on your product page and just have that focus, all right, who can I help today? Who can I make smile today? Who can I encourage today and congratulate? When you go into those product pages with that mind frame, your business and your life will shift. That's the answer. That's the secret. And when you're consistent, when you are consistent with adding value, you can't fail in this business.
You can't lose.
You can't lose.
You know, guys, and this is important because it kind of clicked with me yesterday, because right after Periscope we had a launch party. It's a fantastic couple on our team, and we love them dearly. They're an amazing blessing to our team, and they put it all together. We just come in and we talk because we can't shut up. But the point was, when we were going there, I was just thinking, we're talking about what can we do to add the most value to the people that show up. That's our job, if there's a job. Our job wasn't to convince anyone. It wasn't to try and sell anyone or, God forbid, close somebody into buying products.
I hate when people use those terms.
Because that's not what this is about. What it was about is how can we speak with these people in the room in a way that they understand that what we're saying will add value to their life, either physically or financially. And that was our main focus. And then it just kind of flowed from there, where I was thinking, isn't that the whole focus of our business? Isn't that the whole point of life? To live a successful life means to create value for others.
Beautiful.
And that will come back to you. So, I don't want to go beyond that, because we could talk another whole episode about adding value, but that is one of the most important that I feel out of everything that we talked about. And then number two is actually part of the 2-week turnaround. Number two, it's reading. It's personal development. Yeah. And this also spawned from the launch party yesterday, because Bruce and I were talking about he brought Napoleon Hill, because he was listening to some audiobooks while he was on his vacation with his wife to Yellowstone. And he was talking about the Think and Grow Rich, which I have and I love. And actually, I'm kind of a nerdy book collector, so I do have a nicely bound Think and Grow Rich that my brother gave to me when I was like 18 years old. So,
and women, you can get the Think and Grow Rich for women.
Yeah, so
Susan Sly is in this one.
That's an incredible book. So
Krueger, I think, is in this one too.
I think so. There's a lot of good content there, but this one was actually published in 1937. And this is actually a distilled version of his original, 16-volume...
16?
What is it? 16, yeah.
16.
16-volume set of The Law of Success, which I have a reprint of, and I'm looking for an original, but, they're hard to find. So, but the point is, I wanted to bring up this specific chapter. The first chapter, it's also in Think and Grow Rich, of The Law of Success. The first volume is 117 pages of nothing but the mastermind principle. Why is that important? Why am I bringing that up? Because we talk about solo is a no-go. We talk about you can't do this on your own. If somebody as success-minded and focused on creating value in other people's lives, somebody as powerful as Napoleon Hill decided to put his first chapter in a 16-volume series, he decided to put the mastermind principle as number one. Guys, that's not an accident, because he interviewed over 500 people, super successful people at the time, and they all said one thing. They all started off with one thing: the mastermind principle, the idea that working alone is not as effective as working in a group of like-minded individuals going in the same direction. And that's what you guys are. That's what we are. That's what Bruce was talking about. We talked about the mastermind principle, and he actually brought that up, and it just made me feel so blessed to be part of an industry where that is the focus. And we're going to talk about that in the product page, because the product page is nothing more than a mastermind group of product users. How interesting is that? That's why the energy is created. That's why it's built like it is, and that's why it works. But then we also have the business side of it, We have a like-minded group of individuals focused all on the business. And we can go back and forth in these scenarios with the products and the business, and we come together, and it creates an explosion of momentum in our business that creates positive results. But the whole point is that if you ever feel like you're not moving in the right direction, then it's time to bring more like-minded people in your life. It's time to connect with more like-minded people to move yourself to the next level. Because solo is a no-go, but the more people that you have, the better. The more people going in the right direction.
Do you guys understand what that really means? I really need you to hone in on this, because some of you are still doing this. You hear the hashtag that Paul and I always stress, which is solo is a no-go. Solo is a no-go, but some of you are still doing things by yourself. You're still posting by yourself. You still only have 3 likes and 1 comments. You're just still doing everything by yourself because you think that you can handle this all by yourself. And that is such a red way to handle things, because I did that in the beginning and it got me nowhere in the beginning. I could have built my business much faster if I would have grasped that. But when you first get into this business, you don't understand entrepreneurial mindsets. You don't understand that kind of way of thinking, because my father was in the military, my brothers were in the military, and then I was in ROTC, and then I was an employee, and then of course I'm in medical school, so everything is cutthroat, right? Creme de la creme. I have to be number one. And it's just you get into this. Of course, I was a single mom too, so I maneuvered everything by myself. But in this business, you will fail if you try to do things by yourself. So the reason we're saying all this is really important, because when you get onto this product page, if you try to open up a slow product page by yourself and try to recreate this momentum, you're shooting yourself in the foot. If you already have a strong, powerful, high energy product page, why in the world would you try to open up a slow one? Do you know how much effort and how much work is being put into a product page? You don't just put one up and just go, oh, okay, and there it goes. You have to create it. There's strategic things that you've got to do in that product page to build the momentum, and it can take up to a year to build the momentum. So please don't open up a separate product page if you already have one that has that momentum already created, okay? You're just shooting yourself in the foot, so don't do that.
Yeah, now guys, Lynette's going to talk about like some specific stuff for the product page, but this all comes down to one mindset, and this goes across the board. If we're building our business with 2.0 methods via the internet, right, via social media, then there's one thing to keep in mind, and it is content is king. If you don't have content, you have nothing. If you don't have content, you are irrelevant. If you don't have content, you become obsolete. If you don't have content, you are quickly forgotten and replaced by the people that do. So in this business, how does that apply? In the outside industries, online, it's much more cutthroat. But in this business, if you don't put out the content from yourself, right? And we're not talking about creating original content. We're just talking about you are posting, right? Then your prospects are going to forget about you. Your team is going to duplicate you, right? And then what's going to happen? If you're not doing anything, neither will they.
And that's why you have no retention. That's why your business isn't growing.
Exactly.
It's very apparent that my team is doing exactly what I'm doing. And those that refuse to get on Periscope and watch us, I'm watching their business tank, because they're not duplicating us at all. But those that watch Paul and I, I'm talking about those that are on my team. And even if you're not on my team and you're doing exactly what Paul and I are doing, you're seeing your own business grow. But from Gloria and her entire team, they do exactly, it's almost cookie cutter. And you don't mean to be so cookie cutter, because they definitely add in their own pizzazz and their own personality and their own little tweaks and things, their own, their own character in there.
Guys, that's duplication.
But
that's what
they're
that is.
doing exactly what Jill has done, which is what I'm doing, which is what Gloria is doing, which is what Sheila's doing, which is what her prospects are doing and her team is doing. And then it's no wonder that Gloria is going to be a director on Monday morning. It's no wonder. She did it. She's going to be crystal director, and it's like mind-blowing, because me and Paul are going, oh my God, she's duplicating Jill and I. This is awesome.
It's working.
So we know that it works, and now you're seeing it on your team as well. So I want to just clear up a few things to make sure that you're doing this in the product page, because what Jill is doing is what I'm doing, is what Gloria is doing, and other people on my team, and it's just so apparent that it works. So a couple of reminders in the product page. is that you always want to anticipate objections. And I'm really speaking to those that really don't know how to work the product page, or maybe you have your product page and you're just kind of getting your feet wet. You're trying to make sure things are working correctly and you're kind of figuring it out because you don't know exactly what's happening in there. And of course, I can't add you to mine because we're not financially connected. You're not in Jill's organization. So you're kind of having to go by intuition, by what Lynette and Paul is saying, and trying to create this product page on your own. So I just want to make sure that you're hitting these high points to make sure that what you're doing in your product page is correct. Because Paul and I are always teaching you that there's no business in the product page. There's no rank advancement announcements. There's nothing regarding business because you're treating your product page just like a virtual store. Yeah. You wouldn't take your customers into a store and then take them to your back office and show them the computer files and show them your employee meeting. It's none of that stuff, right? So no business in the product page. We have one page where prospects, customers, and team builders are all in the same page. So I'm not putting prospects and customers in two separate pages and then transferring them this, none of that. Okay, this needs to be very simplified and very duplicatable. But when you're inside the product page, there are a few things that you must do in terms of anticipating objections because you're going to come up with them. It's just the name of the game and nothing to fear, but there are certain ways that team leaders can step up and make sure that questions are being answered. What about you plus two, them plus two?
Okay, guys. Typically, we don't ever put you plus two, them plus two in our product page, except for occasionally we will mention it in a way that, as far as our company goes, you can learn how to get your products paid for. It is product related, right? If you're posting that video, but don't go blasting it every day all week. This is probably once a month, maybe.
That I see.
That we actually see it by anybody.
And if somebody accidentally goes, oh my gosh, somebody rank advanced to manager, well then I'll negate it and go, well, reaching the manager rank advance. When somebody rank advanced to manager, they get their products paid for. Congratulations. Yeah. So I make it, I turn it around back to product related.
Yeah, always the products.
But you always want to anticipate objections because you will have a few objections within the product page, and that's okay. Because our only job is to make sure that we educate, they decide, and then we support, right? How do you get Facebook prospects in your...
Yes, we're using the 4 F's to get them in our product page. The fourth F is Facebook, and that is how we bring that in to tie that in.
Okay. Don't forget when you're anticipating objections, you always want to make sure that before your prospects open up the box, that you do the 14-day talk with them, because you want to make sure that they understand there is a process of detoxing the body, and they may not feel so hot during that first week. Most people don't have any crazy symptoms, but there are a few that are just extremely acidic and extremely toxic, and they're starting to, your body's starting to get the body is becoming acclimated to the products, and sometimes you have those detoxing symptoms. So you want to anticipate some of these objections by helping people in the product page. They're going, oh my gosh, I've got a headache, what do I do?
We call that the transition to the transformation.
Right?
Yeah.
So quick thing about Himalayan salt, talk about Himalayan salt and pound the water, and then help them move past this, right? Some of my favorite phrases are trust the process, pound the water, make sure you're staying hydrated so you can help facilitate the removal of the toxins. We always want to stay compliant and not announce, that our company diagnoses, treats, and prevents and all that kind of stuff. So make sure that your words are compliant. But if you can just let people know that weight loss is actually secondary. Weight loss is actually secondary. So if people are plateauing and they're not seeing the results that they want, then you need to reassure everybody that internal healing is happening first. Let the body do what it wants to do. The body is the natural physician. The body is the natural physician, and it will do what it needs to do first. Then weight loss is actually secondary. So you need to make sure that you're saying these kinds of words in the product page, that they're, go ahead.
It's very comforting to them. That's why. They think that, okay, I just spent this money, I just started this new program, and the 4th day in, I feel like complete crap. I made another mistake. This is just like the rest of them, except that it's worse, because now I feel like, crap. But if you're anticipating objections, if you're supporting them, do you know how it brings somebody some peace of mind when you just tell them, just pound the water. It'll help facilitate getting
Yes.
the toxins out. People are like, oh, that's what's happening. Okay, that's all I got to do. Let me go drink some water. Guys, it reconfirms their decision that they made the right choice. Okay, and that's all this is. Reestablishing the trust when they feel like, maybe I'm not trusting this person as much as I did in the beginning because now I feel like this. Okay, it has nothing to do with that. Actually, they're on the right track, and that's how they're supposed to feel if their body's going through a healing crisis. And once they understand that you're there for them, and you're there for the entire product page group of people, then you build more trust, you build more rapport, you become more of an inspirational leader. So,
okay. Don't forget to mention non-scale victories. Non-scale victories, because as we all know in our company, it's not just about weight loss. Don't forget to mention about weight gain, lean muscle mass, right? Don't forget to address athletes in the product page. Even if you're not an athlete, it makes no difference. You can still encourage people to go to Team Isogenics or put the Team Isogenics video in the product page. There's so much content about weight loss. Don't forget about the athletes. Don't forget about those that are trying to gain weight. Don't forget people who don't really need to lose weight. They just need energy or they need deeper sleep. These are non-scale victories. Rings starting to get a little bit looser. Pants are starting to get a bit looser. You can actually take a picture with your pants. I think someone on our team was at Krueger, maybe Roger. His belt, he had to actually drill new holes instead of buying a new belt. He drilled new holes so he can tighten up his belt because he was losing so many inches.
And he took a picture of the belt, right?
He took a picture of the belt.
And he posted that. So, you don't even have to be in the picture, but the idea is there. People get it. You know what I mean?
Today, I posted a cute picture of some fall boots because we're going into the fall season, the winter season now, and this is a time for leggings and boots. And you can just put a picture of some boots, or maybe you have a pair of favorite boots that you're able to zip up. How many women love losing weight, but especially that calf fat, right? So now you're able to zip up some boots now. How exciting is that? That's a non-scale victory. So there's so many things. 2-week talk on YouTube, yes, but I don't do the 2-week turnaround. I'm sorry, the 14-day talk inside my product page. That's something that I personally do with them one-on-one, whether it's a phone call or a personal video to them. I mean, you can casually mention that, of course, in the product page, but that's not something that I stress in the product page. But you do want to make sure that you're announcing a few of these helpful tips inside the product page. It's not, I mean, yes, we have what's called a catalog that you can find online, and you can easily, crop and take a screenshot of the coffee and put that in the product page, or something of the sleep spray. Make sure you're talking about the products too, but make sure you're also reaching people via the heart space. Now, one favorite thing that I would suggest you do is to do a 30-second video. To really record a 30-second video, because Paul and I were just talking about this today. Our company teaches us how to do a 30-second story, how to write a 30-second story, but how many of us really go out?
How do you use it?
How do you use the 30-second story? I mean, I'm not out in Target going, let me tell you my 30-second story.
We literally have never done that.
Before Isogenics, I was, Yeah, you don't really have time to talk and say the 30-second story unless you're actually doing maybe a meeting. But many of us are not in a position yet where we're actually doing a meeting to do the 30-second story. So the perfect place to do the 30-second story is in the product page. So get your handy-dandy smartphone out, record yourself doing a 30-second story, and then upload it in the product page, because that is what's going to move people into action, because you become a real person to them. I have a 20-minute story.
Somebody just said, what did they say? I just missed it. I'll try to remember.
So, please don't forget to utilize the websites, the tools in the product page. Oh, go ahead.
Hold on one second, before I forget. How many posts a day would equal a high-energy product page? Guys,
well, it depends on how much money you want to make.
That's totally an open question, because that's very relative to how big the group is and how fast you want the group to grow. So, for example, I'll post 10 to 15 times a day personally. Lynette will post anywhere from 15 to 25 times a day personally. Jill, I know, has been posting about 30 to 40 times a day for the last 4 years personally. Just in the three of us,
Oh my gosh! And then I got my team, Gloria, posting and Shelly. Everybody, just
guys,
that's the great thing about when you're duplicating yourself.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. How many posts a day? Literally hundreds and hundreds of posts a day. I mean, that's
between you and your team.
Yeah, between you and the team. That's what it needs to eventually get to start creating the proper momentum. And like she said, it's going to take some time. And she's going to give you some. We were talking about this, so. Everyone has a product page, or they're part of a product page, or if their upline didn't have a product page, now they have to start one. Now, what do you put in it? So she's going to tell you a bunch of stuff like that. The 30-second stories.
How do you find out what rank is, what level, and what do they mean? Well, you go to your business page to find that out. So go to isogenicsbusiness.com and dive in there, girl. That's where you can find all your information regarding business. 30 to 40 times a day, each person or a whole team. Preferably each person. If you are running the show, you're probably going to have to post about 30 to 40 times a day. But why? Why am I wanting to dominate? Well, not only are we in a dominated, period right now because we're in the 90-day game plan, we're 10xing everything. Thank you, 10x it, baby, right? My prospects get notifications on their phone. I'm trying to manipulate the Facebook algorithm. Every single time I post, my prospects get a notification.
This is an endurance race, guys.
My goal is to get them back into the product page. Some of you are still using isamovie.com in the product page. That's fine. That's just not my preference because when they click on isamovie.com, it takes them outside of my product page and I don't want them leaving my product page. So I use the YouTube videos, copy and paste the link of the video, and it must be Isogenics a company video, right?
Yeah, the YouTube channel, YouTube channel.
Please make sure that you're utilizing the company's videos. Yeah. If you're using other people's videos, it's going to lead your prospect to go to that person, and you don't want to do that. So make sure it's company related. And then make sure that you copy and paste the link of the YouTube video, and then you can put that in the product page. That's just my preference. That's just what I do. You're welcome to do whatever you like, but my goal is for them to not leave my product page, because if they leave, they're going to get overwhelmed with 20 different videos that are over there. They don't know exactly what to click. They don't know what's going on over there. So I like to just keep it very simple and give them one video, just one video.
So guys, real quick, couple comments in a row where I saw things about the notifications. Do people get annoyed by the notifications? Do we get annoyed by notifications? No. What if somebody does? I don't care. To be quite honest with you, I'm not looking for the person that doesn't care. I'm looking for the person that does. I'm looking for the person that gets it.
And let me give you a quick example, because Paul and I had a dinner meeting with a gal just last week. Okay, so she was added to the product page by someone in our downline, and we were all having dinner together. And she was like, I'm just so overwhelmed with the product page. I don't understand everything. I'm so confused. And it was like excuse after excuse. It just really told Paul and I that she's not the one that's looking. She can marinate in the group all she wants, but she's not ready. Counter that, just today, Gloria's downline added someone to the product page, and she said in the product page, oh my God, I can't wait till payday. I am loving all the stories. I'm ready to jump on board. I'm ready to go now. Yep. How exciting is that? That's who you're looking for. Paul and I really don't care.
Seriously.
You really need to have this attitude. You don't care if someone is being annoyed. Now, you can anticipate them. There's wording that you can do before you add someone into the page, and just go look. It's a little bit overwhelming and fast-paced. You can turn off the notification if it gets a little bit too overwhelming. But man, those testimonies and this page is fantastic, and you're going to love it.
You're going to love it.
We hope you fall in love with the culture of this company and this page. Those are the people that you're looking for. So if people are annoyed, then let them be annoyed. They can remove themselves out the page. Don't get hung up on that. You're looking for people who are looking. Yeah, that's right? It.
Guys, somebody's annoyed with whatever I do or say or whatever. I could care less.
I don't care.
I'm going to go find somebody else. I mean, seriously, there's 1,000 other people that want this just as bad as I do. Real quick, I saw a comment at the bottom that we're going to go ahead and say some prayers for Billy today. If you have some time, I guess this particular person is dying and on oxygen right now. So
oh my gosh,
we'll go ahead.
Billy?
I'm not sure, but
okay.
We'll definitely keep Billy in our prayers for that today.
Thank you for letting us know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I don't want to let that go unnoticed. But guys, so, this is all about finding people that want it and letting people that don't want it go. You need to just let it go.
And don't forget to be utilizing the tools inside the product page. This is so important because many of you don't know when to use the tools. When you're doing old school 1.0 stuff, you didn't know when to use the tools because do I email them a tool? Do I private message them? Do I text them a tool? And how many tools? You don't have to worry about any of that anymore because in the product page, you can use all the tools. You have videos as a tool. You've got isogenicshealth.net. There's amazing articles that now you can utilize inside the product page. Amazing articles on ISA FYI. You've got the Team Isogenics website now. There's so many tools that you can use. So if somebody's asking about diabetes, or if somebody's asking about pregnancy, or somebody's asking about maltodextrin or whatever, or somebody's asking about the carbs, or somebody's asking about I've plateaued, or whatever question it is, all you got to do is go into Google and go Google diabetes, isogenics, and like several different articles will come up. Or you can go Google isogenics, maltodextrin, or whatever, or carbs, or whatever it is, sleep spray. There's so many articles within our own company that you can utilize in the product page. So please use. Okay, happy Sunday. So do you suggest we post an article within the product page instead of copy pasting? I don't know what that means. Because you are copy pasting the article and posting in the product page. It's the same thing, right? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I heard your question right. So you're utilizing the tools. You're going to the actual website, copy pasting the link, and then putting it into your product page. Okay? Yeah, we blocked them. We got them. People are crazy.
Poor guy.
I mean, instead of sharing the link. Copy paste.
Yeah, copy and paste the link. I'm not sure. We don't tend to share anything.
Screenshot rather than link to stay on Facebook. Okay, screenshot rather than link. I'm not sure what that means. Your education expression. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you. So what other questions do we have? I just want to make sure that this product page is high energy. It is educational. It's inspirational because remember, the only way that you can move people into action is to become an inspirational leader. And the only way that you can do that is to offer hope and optimism, show your passion and your enthusiasm about the products, about the company, the integrity of the products and the integrity of the company, right? And also to earn people's trust. And the only way that you're going to be able to do that is if you step up in your own leadership and post. Some of you are still really scared in posting. You only post once or twice a day. Maybe that's all that you can do right now, and that's okay. But if you're talking about 10xing, because you're not going to accidentally make 6 and 7 figures in this company. We want to do this fast and the most efficient way. We're in the holidays. This is not the time to just post once or twice a day. Find the time. I don't care if it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Just find the time because we got to go into the holidays with mass momentum. This is the time to not slack off is right now, not now. So don't forget that. Don't be scared to post because those that post the most make the most. But you can't only be the one posting. This is a team-oriented thing. Again, solo is a no-go. If you have a product page and you're the only one posting, this is a big red flag that your product page is not what it's doing.
It's not what it should be.
It's not where it should be. If you only have 600 people in the group and you're the only one doing all the work, you're not duplicating yourself. This is really important that you understand that. Solo is a no-go. You need to have other team-oriented leaders in there posting content, answering questions, and communicating and inspiring people in there. You share your team's culture, get together, group workouts. Yes, you can do all that. There's plenty. I don't do that, but there's absolutely people that do that.
So somebody had mentioned a question about, do we worry about other people from other companies being added to our product page and promoting their company? No, we delete them. The second we see somebody who's starting to promote, even like let's say there's a personal trainer who is interested in our product line. If they start promoting themselves, their personal training business, they're out.
No self-promotion.
Guys, this is not about your company. This is about the product line that's in the page. That's it, period. Everyone else deleted.
You can't put no real estate in there. Somebody try to post their restaurant in there. Oh, out. Delete. Delete it out.
You're out.
And it's your job to know who your admins are and contact the admin immediately and just say, hey, someone's promoting themselves or someone's promoting stuff. If somebody's just being an ass in the product page, yeah, get them out or delete the comment, right? No arguing back and forth. No try to convincing back and forth. Leaders, especially Reds. I do this and still do it. I need to stop. But you'll try to convince back and forth. Don't do that.
Guys, there's two types of negative in the product page. One type of negative is a skeptical person that is uneducated and looking for more answers, but it comes across in a negative way. So we educate them, we turn it around into a positive, and we educate them. We move on from there. The other person is a negative person who is bashing you, the company, or somebody else in the group and creating ridiculous energy and bad negative remarks. They're out. We kick them out of the page entirely and block them from the page from ever being added. So the reason is we are protecting our store. Nobody else runs my store except for me, and I don't allow that crap in there. Just like if it was a physical store, I would not let somebody come in and trash my store and then leave them in the store. I'd immediately kick them out of the store along with a few extra things. Maybe a punch in the throat, but whatever.
It's so violent on a Sunday.
But you get the point, guys. It's your store, so treat it like that. You don't have to tolerate anything like that. Nobody's going to be poaching. If you see any poaching comments, this needs to be addressed to.
No putting your website, contact me, or making your own quote with your own website link. None of that. Yeah. No self-promotion. Mm-hmm. It is all one team in the product page. You're looking out for another. If a prospect is lost and is ready to get started, please refer them back to the person that added them in. And I'm not lazy in my leadership, and I don't go, just contact the person who added you. I don't do that. I actually physically take the 2 extra seconds to find out who added them to the page, and you can do that so easily by clicking on members. And then a box will come up, and you can type the lost prospect's name in there to see who added them in. Mm-hmm. And I take it a step further because maybe that person doesn't know what they're doing, so I'll find the next executive, and I'll tag both the person that add them in there as well as the next executives to make sure that there's team-oriented stuff going on, right? So just make sure that you're helping people in the page by taking the 5 extra seconds to do that. Okay.
Somebody asked, what's the best time to use the getting started video? When do you use video number 2, the getting started video, in the welcome post? Anywhere from 12 to 24 hours after the welcome post. Okay. Whether they say, hey, I'm ready to get started or not, who cares? I'm going to add the video anyway, pull them back in my store. They can look at it if they want to. You're not forcing them to do anything. They can do whatever they want. You're just simply educating them with more information.
This is just kind of how to, everything. Nothing is in a box, just flow, be really natural. You're going to have to kind of figure this out along the way, but again, this is how we do it. I'll add a prospect in and have a nice welcome post. Everybody gets a nice welcome post because this is where I can do the what's it called? The pimp post. Mm-hmm. I can go back and find information. I can add different things because what you're looking for is a platform. So I have a nice welcome post with the new prospect, welcoming them into the group. So now I have a platform to follow up with. So I can add a second video, right? So the first video would be Isogenics Difference, or Just Cleanse with Mary Evans, or Start Your Life, which has the Like a Boss hat on the video. Those are my 3 favorite. You can use whichever videos that you prefer. That's just what I prefer because they're quick videos. And then 12 to 24 hours later, I will do Getting Started. So I'll add that video next.
Into the comment section of the same welcome post.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And then in our product page, we have 2 different types of price posts. We have one that's detailed oriented, that somebody had typed a long post out regarding the 3 top systems, which would be the President's Pack, the Paysetters, and the 30-day system, broken down price per day. Price per day. And then we also have a price post picture that's also, that I have it saved on my iPhone. And then every once in a while I can repost that, or you can find an original post and tag somebody in there if you want to do it that way. But the only times that I will really tag is something like that is on a price post. A helpful tip is, now that you're building your business on Facebook, now that you're building your business with a product page, you're going to need to have a nice smartphone. So if you can invest in a nice smartphone with more memory, you're going to be saving so many pictures on your phone. It's going to be ridiculous. I've got like 2,100 pictures that I literally use all the time. I've got motivational photos on here. I've got my own photos that I take in my house with the shake or with the cleanse for life or with the whatever. I've got videos. So you're going to need something with a lot of memory because you're going to be doing a lot of videos and saving of pictures now, because this is how you're going to be building your business. Seriously. You're going to be building your business using your phone and on your computer as well. So make sure you have plenty of space and you have an updated phone. So don't be going around with a iPhone 3G or something, 3S, and trying to, you can only save like 15 photos. You need to make sure that you have plenty of room, because you're going to be moving and grooving all day long, right? Recirculate information, recirculate pictures.
Oh, that's something I wanted to talk about. A lot of people are like, oh, where do I find all this content? Guys, I don't care if somebody else posted something, if you know, and like 2 hours later I post the same thing. That's okay. Just put your own spin on it with the text in the comments that you put along with that post. You know, if you're promoting a certain recipe or you're promoting.
So my group doesn't have a product page. Well, then
that's problem number one.
That's problem number one.
Yeah.
You're not going to grow, and you're not going to grow like the way that Paul and I teach you.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it before. No product page, horse and buggy. With a product page, it's like a jet. So you'll get there, but it's going to take a lot longer with a lot more work.
Yeah.
Guys, imagine, we've talked about it before too, the idea of herding cats. You know, how difficult is that to do? But if they're all in the same room, what are the chances that you might be able to touch base with all of them? And that's the same thing with no product page versus a product page. So, yeah. So, if you guys have other questions, go ahead and fire away. I know other people love to ask us what kind of books we read. I wanted to just show you a few of our favorites.
What is the process for prospecting on Facebook to get people on the product page? You need a review, 2-week turnaround, and the rule of 5.
Yeah, we have about 50 videos out there that Larry Fuchs has recorded on YouTube. You can probably find the answers there.
Yeah, we go into there's the dip theory. There's so many different things.
There's no 2-minute answer. Let's put it that way. There's no 2-minute answer to understand.
Okay, wait, so many groups insist you do things their way.
No, you're the owner of your own business, so.
I hate when I hear that, because they're so reds. Reds, stop controlling. Yeah. I am so guilty of that. You just want to control everything. It has to be this way. Jill is the epitome of flow like water. She's like, you guys can just, go. Step up in your leadership. Go. Be creative and try things. If it doesn't work, then, she'll let us know it. That probably doesn't work, and she'll, fine tune some stuff. But Jill has never told us not to do something. It is. It's sad. I don't like that. They're usually red leaders that. Well, it's all ego usually.
It's control.
It's control.
It's a control
Sorry about
that. Typically, if they're holding you back in soaring, then you might have to soar without them. You can work with whoever you want, and you don't have to work with.
Are those who
anybody.
Are ready coming to you, or are you reaching out to them after a little bit of both?
There is
a little bit of both.
Yeah, there's a balance.
And when you send someone your website link to enroll, what's on your website? It's a company website. Isagenix provides me my own website, so that's what I'm using.
Mm-hmm.
You really helped me think outside the box. Good. That's what we want to do. We want to make sure that you're not living inside a box, because Paul and I aren't dynamic leaders. We're not dynamic speakers and trainers. But what we do know is that we stand in our own divinity, and we stand in our own power. And that's all that we want for you too, is that you don't have to just continue being a follower anymore. You're your own leader. You're your own CEO, your own company. Be as duplicatable and as coachable as you can.
Yeah, there's a balance of being coachable and not reinventing the wheel, but there's also the point where, you know what, I'm going to have to do this on my own because they're not doing it the way that resonates with what I need.
So I want you to start following your intuition. Some of you, for the longest time, some of you have been in this business for 2, 3, 4 years doing old school methods, and intuitively you knew it wasn't working for you. That is the definition of insanity, is doing the same thing over and over and getting the same result or not a different result. Expecting a different result.
Yeah.
But intuitively you knew it wasn't working. Why didn't you change? Someone messaged me not too long ago and said they started a product page like 4 years ago. And then someone in their upline discouraged them from doing it, and then she stopped. Then she found Paul and I and was like, She's shooting herself in the foot because intuitively she knew that was the way to go. Had she done that over the last 4 years, can you imagine where her business would be? But, you know,
the beautiful thing is it's never too late.
It's never too late. But now you know how to do it correctly. But Paul and I want to encourage you and really stand in your power. Follow your intuition. Your heart never will lead you in the wrong direction. Stay out of up here. Follow your intuition and go, you know what? This leader, I think they know what they're talking about. I may want to implement a little bit of them. You know, because I did that. I don't follow everything with Jill Bowman. Sometimes I take a little bit of Tracy O'Malley or a little bit of Tanya or a little bit of, you know, Emily Vavra, and then I kind of just make my own because I'm finding things that resonate with me, that fits with me, because if it doesn't resonate with me, that's the energy that I'm putting out towards my prospects. They can totally feel the disconnect. So don't do that. Find things that really connect with you. Be coachable and be willing to learn, and don't ever stop being a student. But at the same time, know what's working for you and what's not working for you. If it's not working, change it, right? So Paul and I always say that if whatever we're teaching you doesn't work, we'll stop doing it. We'll change it and you know, be like water and do something else.
Yeah. I mean, the second we learn that this doesn't work, then we'll switch it. But for now, it's working really well.
So what other questions do you have? We'll kind of wrap this up. It's a beautiful Sunday. We just kind of wanted to...
Guys, a couple books I like.
Oh.
A couple really great books. Mindset stuff. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker.
And I'll show you the Law of Attraction stuff. Anything by Esther and Jerry Hicks. Something called The Vortex. They have a Law of Attraction as well as Money and the Law of Attraction. Those are kind of like, all these books are the same because they all look the same, but they're all from the same author. They have different series.
I got the Start With Why by Simon Sinek. I've got the Motivation Manifesto. We've talked about this one before by Brennan Bashar. Got the Entrepreneur Roller Coaster by Darren Hardy. We also have the Compound Effect, which I...
Yes, Ask and It Is Given was one of my first Esther books. I love all of them. Should I stay with Susan Sly's page until my team is huge? Follow your intuition on that. Follow your intuition. I can't tell you what to do because I don't know what's going on over there.
Power of Habits. Guys, habits take 66 days to create. Keep going. 48 Laws of Power. It shows you about different dynamics in people's motives and things like that.
You can find our recordings at L. Fuchs 1959 on YouTube.
The One Thing. This is a great book to keep you focused on the one thing, which is your business.
Guys, are you getting this? You never stop reading. That's all we do is read. We read, we read. We can power read or speed read. Implement that.
I got this one. These are like articles that were compiled by Richard Branson, which are incredible.
So, anyway, we have a million books in our house. So,
yeah, those are just some of my faves. Here's another one, Flow.
If you can't afford the book, go to your local library. They have lots to choose from. That's a really good idea.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You have no idea. That's what, yeah. The library was my best friend for many decades.
Oh, I think Paul, I'm not supposed to know this, but Paul's going to...
Hey, what?
Oh, come on.
What?
Can I just tell them, please?
What?
I figured it out. I got it out of
She
him.
doesn't
So,
know.
actually, today and into tomorrow is the beautiful, powerful supermoon. It is a blood moon, full moon. It's like a full moon on steroids. So I am going to go to Sedona. Paul's going to take me to Sedona, Arizona, which is where the vortexes are. It's just a beautiful, sacred space here in Arizona, and maybe we'll just kind of just hang out and relax and really contemplate and reflect what's happening in our life, and we'll just spend amazing time up there and just absorb all the energy. It's going to be powerful energy. That's what I'm doing, because I'm kind of woo-woo. That's kind of my thing.
I can't keep a secret. Is the problem. Can't keep a secret, especially if I'm trying to surprise her with stuff.
I'll probably go to a crystal gemstone store there. That's just my thing. Any what other questions do you have?
We're going to the Olive Garden, guys.
No, we're not going to have an Olive Garden there. We're just kind of wrapping a few things up today, and then we'll talk a little bit to you about a few things tomorrow as well. So anyways,
guys, thanks for oh, that's awesome.
I know.
I don't know how to say that, but I like
it was
that.
Beautiful, though,
yeah.
From New Zealand. They wished me happy birthday.
Yep.
What color is Paul? He is red with white.
I don't claim to be any color.
He is not a yellow. He is so not a yellow.
That's all I know is I'm not a yellow.
I don't know. Paul likes yellows.
No, they're great.
He says y'all can't focus.
Wait a minute, no.
Just kidding. I'm kidding. We love yellows. We love you, yellows.
They're the funnest part of the world. So
okay. So let's kind of wrap this up. I think there's no more questions, but as always, we want nothing more than for you guys to succeed. You guys can do this. You really, really can. Don't overthink this. Just don't forget to add value. Go back to gratitude. Start from the very beginning. Go back to the basics. And then just reevaluate yourself over the next remaining of the weeks for this 90-day game plan. You have everything that you need to succeed in this business. Just continue to 10x everything.
Yeah,
add value to people's lives. Post the way you're supposed to be posting, and support people on that product page. You're going to be okay. Yeah. I promise. You have everything that you need.
Because we're here at the end of week 4, let's go ahead and keep focusing on the 90-day game plan because we are in the busy season. We're in the biggest part of the year for our industry. So let's go into week 5 with a punch.
You guys haven't
serious bang. So
you haven't even experienced October yet. We're still coming into October, and you have no idea
the momentum.
What's going to happen in October, November. So don't slack off yet. You haven't seen nothing yet.
Yeah. So you guys are rocking it. So keep doing your thing. Add value today. Add value today. Add value today. Don't focus on the rest of the 90-day game plan. Just focus on what you can do today to give back. So. Guys, we want nothing more than for you to live the most extraordinary life. Always.
Do you reach down more or sign new people? We're always doing both. Always doing both.
Oh, you have to do the balance. Okay. I mean, and it is a balance because there's a time where you focus exclusively on enrolling when you don't have a team. And then there's a time where as soon as you do have a team, you have to learn how to build it.
No, the product. I want to say this really quick before we get off. No, the product page name doesn't matter. Just be really careful when you name the page and having this, I don't know how to explain it, how Jill always talked about having ownership, because we have a name in our product page and she doesn't own the page. She allows Paul and I to use the page as our own, and then she allows Gloria and it's our page. It's not Jill's page, and she owns ownership of this page. It is our page, all of her leaders' page. So just be really careful of people when they open up their own page, it's exclusively theirs. They own it, and I don't know. You never want to make people feel like they're below you or underneath you. Mm-hmm. Jill always makes us feel as if we're rising with her and we're walking right beside her. Never make people feel as if they're below you by saying things like, it's my team, my page, you guys are it's me, it's mine. None of that. It's the team. It's our team. It's the team. So, or one team. So make sure that you make everyone feel as if they're all walking beside you. Right?
Somebody said it seems awkward to reach out to other people's enrollments. Get over it.
Get over it.
Yep. Get over it. That's you. That's you.
That's the crazy train talk.
That's the thing in your head, making up stories. You guys, nobody's going to turn down more support. Nobody's going to turn down more help, and nobody's going to turn down more guidance.
Yeah. No. Cray train.
And if they do, then you did your job. You reached out. You did what you could. If they don't want to accept it, then that's okay. There's no hard and fast contract binding you to them and them to you. You're just simply letting them know that you exist. So. Okay.
So happy Sunday, guys. Have a beautiful day. Reflect today. Reflect tomorrow. It's the full moon. If there's certain things in your life that you need to let go, give yourself permission to let that go. You may want to write a few things down on a piece of paper that you want to start brand new in your life, or let things go so you can allow new things to come into your life, and then burn the heck out of that piece of paper that you want to let go, whether it's a nasty relationship or a nasty, something's going on in your life that you have to let go now, because it's time now to step into our own higher self and our own leadership and your own divinity, and never dim your own light. Stand and shine bright. And remember that. I get chills thinking about it. Just shine bright as you can, and don't worry about what anybody else thinks. Because always know that Paul and I always have your back. Your leaders have your back. So stand proud of who you are and let go of the things that no longer serve you. Mm-hmm. So take this full moon and run with it. Take the energy of this full moon and run with it, and become the best person you can ever be.
Yep.
Oh, thank you.
Guys, we were going for that million heart mission, try to get 1 million hearts before we ended our 90 days. I'm not sure if we'll make it. We might make it. We're pretty close. But even on the replay, you can give 500 hearts. So thanks for all the hearts, for all those that have given us hearts. And yeah, we'll go ahead and see you tomorrow then.
Okay, we love you guys. We want you to live this extraordinary life.
Yep, always free from physical and financial pain.
So join us on this mission.
Because it's a stone cold fact.
We got a better way. Let's go tell the world.
Guys.
Happy Sunday. Happy full moon. Bye.